Hello friends, welcome to Technique. This is Nirmal here, and in this video we're going to compare two premium flagship smartphones below the 50,000 price segment in India. We have the OnePlus 8T versus the Samsung Galaxy S20 Fan Edition. So these two devices are priced below the 50,000 price segment. The OnePlus 8T retailing for around 43,000 for the base 8GB RAM variant. Now the Samsung Galaxy S20 Fan Edition comes with just one variant, that's 8GB RAM and 128GB storage, which is priced 49,999. So there is a clear difference of almost 7,000 rupees between these two devices. Now both offer great hardware, great performance, a good set of cameras as well. Now which of these is better and which are the areas these devices differ? That's what we are going to do in this video. So if this is your first time on this channel, do hit that red subscribe button and also hit the bell icon to get notified of all the videos we publish. So let's get started with a detailed comparison of these two devices. Now let's start off with the design and build quality. Now if you look at the front panel design, you can see that the punch hole selfie camera is on the left side on the OnePlus 8T, while it's on the center portion on the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE edition. So not much of difference. Now the bezels are also quite similar on both the phones, so nothing to choose here. Now if you look at the back panel, here again there are a lot of similarities. Samsung has employed the S20 series design onto the S20 FE edition as well, while OnePlus also mimics that design. You have a square left side mounted camera layout with a quad camera setup on the OnePlus 8T, while it's a triple camera setup on the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE edition. Now we have the logo placed bottom. Now the power button is on the right side on both the devices. We have the alert slider, which is very useful functionality for making the phone into silent mode. Now we also have the volume keys on the right side on the the Samsung Galaxy FE edition, while we have the volume keys on the left side on the OnePlus 8T. So design wise, nothing much different. They do look a lot similar because of the camera layout. Now which one looks better, that's more of a personal choice. Both looks equally good. Now in terms of the build quality, this is where a lot of difference happens. Now we have a plastic material, polycarbonate material on the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE edition, while we have a glass finish. Now the front and the back panel are Gorilla Glass protection, and it's also latest version, while on the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE it's not the latest version. Also it's a polycarbonate material. Now having a polycarbonate material isn't bad by any means because it feels really nice. You can see that the material quality looks pretty smooth. Now advantage of the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE edition is that even with minor faults, it won't cause any issues because it's a polycarbonate material, especially for the back panel, while a hard drop would actually damage the OnePlus 8T because it's of glass finishing. Now advantage for glass finishing is that it feels more premium, especially for the price segment. So both of them have pretty good overall experience, but build quality wise, we personally feel the OnePlus 8T definitely has the edge. Now next let's talk about the display. So these are two really good displays out there. Now we have an AMOLED display, the Fluid AMOLED display on the OnePlus 8T, while we have a Super AMOLED display on the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. Now both the devices also have 120Hz refresh rate. So Samsung is providing 120Hz refresh rate, while the OnePlus 8T also has improved from 90Hz to 120Hz refresh rate. Now it's very difficult to choose which is better here. You can see that the viewing angles are really good on both the phones. Now the display quality looks good, colors are again vivid, the touch response feels very smooth. Now overall we feel the touch was slightly better when you compare with the S20 FE, and also latest version of Gorilla Glass is available. The Gorilla Glass 5 is included on the OnePlus, while on the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE has a slightly older Gorilla Glass. So in terms of display quality, there isn't much to choose, but touch response was slightly better on the OnePlus 8T. Now moving on to the software. So this is one area where these two devices differ. So let's first talk about the OnePlus 8T. Now OnePlus 8T comes with the Oxygen OS 11. Now if you look at the Oxygen OS, this is one of those UIs which has really good implementation. Now with Oxygen OS 11, there has been a lot of resemblance to the One UI. Now you can see the settings panel looks quite similar to One UI, but it is definitely a refreshing change. Now you also get a lot of customization options in terms of accent color, system icons, icon packs, animation effects. So a lot of things are included here. It's a well designed UI. You can also see that the notification toggles, everything looks pretty neatly arranged, very smooth and responsive UI. Now if you look at the Samsung's One UI 2.0, this is on top of Android 10. Mind you, this is slightly older version. We have the Android 11 on the OnePlus 80. Now if you look at the settings panel, here again it's very smooth UI. Now both does a pretty good job in terms of UI performance. Both have nice features being loaded. You also get customization via theme store on this. A lot of additional features are included. Now both of them have really good UI. Now if you have to choose one, probably our pick would be the Oxygen OS 11. But having said that, the One UI 2.5 is no far behind. It's also really good UI. So if I were to choose one, probably I would have gone with the Oxygen OS 11 with Android 11. Talking about the performance, now we have two different processors. We have the Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 octa-core processor coupled with 8GB RAM or 128GB storage and 12GB RAM or 256GB storage. Now we have the Exynos 990 octa-core processor with 8GB RAM and 128GB storage. Now you get an expandable storage option on the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE, which is missing on the OnePlus 80. Now in terms of day-to-day performance, we hardly see any difference. Both were equally good responsive UIs, and the performance was stellar on both the devices. In fact, we have done a speed test comparison. We found it to be equally good on both the phones. Both were able to retain all the apps. The memory management is really good. So in terms of performance, we can't really choose a winner here. But when it comes to gaming experience, that's where the OnePlus 80 takes the lead, with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 performing much better than the Exynos 990. Now we have done a detailed gaming video of these two devices and found that the Exynos 990 definitely has some heating issues, and overall the experience was not that great. But on the OnePlus 80, the experience was really smooth and no lags whatsoever, while on the Exynos 990 on the S20 FE edition, there was some frame skips and the heating was way too higher. It almost reached 48 degrees, but on the OnePlus 80 it was much better performance. So that's the performance side. Now let's talk about the fingerprint scanner. You can see that both have in-display fingerprint scanners, and you can see that the fingerprint scanner performance is pretty good on both the devices. So you can see that it's very fast fingerprint scanner. So let's just see here. So here you can see that both are really good. The OnePlus 80 was a tad faster, even in face unlock. Both were equally good, but then slightly faster was the OnePlus 80. Now both the devices have LPDDR4X RAM. The storage is UFS 3.1 on the OnePlus 80, while it's UFS 3.0 on the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE edition. So in terms of overall performance side, we feel the OnePlus 80 definitely has the advantage. Now next, call quality. Both the devices have pretty good call reception. Signal strength was also really good. We did not see any sort of issues. Both did a really good job in terms of network coverage. Now both have VoLTE and voice over Wi-Fi. Now next is the speaker. Now both have dual stereo speakers included, which is a really good feature. Now the sound quality was really good. We felt that the OnePlus 80 was a tad louder than the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE edition. So not by a huge margin, but slightly better was OnePlus 80. Now next, Samsung Galaxy S20 FE has two features which is not available on the OnePlus 80. One is the IP68 water and rust resistant capabilities. Second is wireless charging. These two features are missing on the OnePlus 80. These are two really flagship level features which is missing on the OnePlus 80. So that's an advantage for the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. Now next, let's move on to one of the important aspects, the camera performance. Now let's have a look at the hardware offered. Now we have a 48 megapixel primary sensor, a 16 megapixel ultra wide, 5 megapixel macro and 2 megapixel mono sensor. While on the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE we have a 12 megapixel primary sensor, 8 megapixel telephoto lens and a 12 megapixel ultra wide angle lens. Now there is no macro sensor on the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE edition. Now on the selfie camera we have a 16 megapixel shooter on the OnePlus 80, while it's a 32 megapixel shooter on the FE edition. Now next let's talk about the camera performance. Now if you look at the camera samples, these two devices are pretty good in terms of camera experience. When we reviewed the OnePlus 80, we did mention that the cameras are improved. Now if you look at the overall camera quality in daylight conditions, we feel the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE edition definitely has an advantage over the OnePlus 80, both in terms of colors, the dynamic range, and overall sharpness levels are also better on the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. So FE definitely has better details and sharpness levels when compared to the OnePlus 80. Now the OnePlus 80 is not far behind, but it still needs a few more software updates to make it a better camera. Now the OnePlus devices are known for great cameras. Now that is almost similar on the OnePlus 80 as well, while the S20 series had pretty good cameras, and Samsung has continued that performance even on the FE edition as well. Now if you look at the portraits also, you can see that the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE edition did a better job here. Now ultra wide angle also S20 was slightly better overall. Now S20 FE edition has a telephoto lens which is not available on the OnePlus 80, which does a pretty good job. Up to 30x zoom is available, which is again really good. Now the OnePlus 80 has macro sensor which is not available on the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE edition. Now in terms of low light performance, we feel again Samsung Galaxy S20 FE edition did a slightly better job overall in terms of the low light. Now the selfie experience also quite good on both the devices. It was mixed performance. Some photos did come out better on the OnePlus 80, while some were on the better on the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. So overall in terms of camera, if we were to pick one device, then of course it would be the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE, which did a better job overall. Now next let's move on to the battery. So here again OnePlus 80 has an advantage, while both the devices have 4500 mAh capacity battery. Now the OnePlus 80 has 65 watt fast charging, and there is a bundle charger with the device. Now the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE has 25 watt of fast charging support, but the bundle charger is around 15 watt, which takes almost like 2.5 hours to charge the device, while the OnePlus 80 takes just 40 minutes to charge. That's a major advantage for the OnePlus 80. Now OnePlus 80 also has better battery life. We got around 6 to 6.5 hours of screen on time, while we got around close to 5 hours on the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE edition. The Exynos chipset is never known for great performance, so here again you can see that the battery performance was better on the OnePlus 80. So now summing up, which one should you buy? Now the OnePlus 80 8GB RAM and 120GB storage variant, which is comparable to the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE, is priced 43K, while the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE edition is priced 50K. Now additional features which the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE offers is wireless charging, IP68 water resistance, then it also comes with a better camera, good software experience, but it is not great in terms of performance and battery life along with the charging technology, and overall performance also was not as good as the OnePlus 80. Now OnePlus 80 shines in software experience, excellent UI, then great performance all around, great build quality too. Now it does miss out on few features like the wireless charging and IP rating, but it is also 7K cheaper than the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. The additional battery life and also 65 watt charging is again a really good thing. Now if you are a gamer, you should definitely go with the OnePlus 80, and if I were to pick one of these two devices, I would definitely go with the OnePlus 80. A couple of reasons. One is Samsung's Exynos are not really great for battery life. Second is the OnePlus 80 performance is really good, especially gaming. Even though the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE has better cameras, my pick would be the OnePlus 80 with better overall features and also 7K cheaper, even though it does miss out on a few features like IP68 and water resistance capabilities. So that is a detailed comparison of the OnePlus 80 with the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE edition. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do hit that like button and also hit the subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.